Hey, I'm Amethyst Guidance from InAlignment Ministries, and today we will be covering the energy for not only the current energy, but for the full moon in Cancer. So you very well may be feeling that energy right now. However, it is supposed to begin on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. This energy is moody, watery, introspective. You may even feel sleepy during this time. Very intuitive, like psychic powers may even heighten during this time. You may even feel emotional. So it's perfectly okay if you don't want to go out, if you want to stay in, if you kind of want to do self-care regimens. And self-care regimens is not just about, it does not just include pampering. It's also pampering your spirit, your mind, your body, and your soul. So during this time, again, you may very well want to just be around those that you love, those that you value, or you may actually want to be by yourself. And I want to tap into that energy to see what messages that we have for the full moon in Cancer, but also the current energy, because I know that there are some elements that are at play that may influence the impact of the full moon. Not only that, we do have this Mercury retrograde in Capricorn where that energy feels like I gotta get stuff done, things that I've put off, I need to handle, or you may actually reflect on things that you may need to tweak and see that, hey, actually the route that I was taking was not exactly where I should have went. I think I'm gonna recalibrate, I'm gonna reset, I'm gonna push back or pull back and just say, you know what? Let me think about this a little bit longer. Let me plan this a little bit longer so that I have a strategy that will focus on what I need to handle at hand. So whether it's your stability, your finances, your living situation, whether you're considering travel, whether you're even considering your relationships right now, all of that energy from what I'm gathering just now is what I'm seeing may be influencing you. So if you're looking at people sideways or reconsidering contracts or agreements, honestly, it's perfectly normal. Don't feel like you're being paranoid, even though that there may be some illusion because it's not all the way clear, but you do know that there's something just not right. Okay. All right. Of course, I do my prayer, and during my prayer, a lot of times I receive downloads. Something on my lip. You know how you wear lip gloss, ladies? And it's it seems like it's a magnet for different stuff to hit it. So I felt it felt like a piece of hair on my lips or whatever, so. I'm hearing that a lot of you all need grounding. Even if you don't want to be bothered with anyone, you can at least step out on your porch or go outside in your backyard, or even take a walk, specifically a brisk walk, enough for you to actually break a sweat. Some of you may need to even do a sauna treatment or infrared therapy treatment. I know I'm doing that on Wednesday. I just felt like it. I was like, you know what? I need to do that. I need to detox my body, sweat, go to the sauna, really, release some toxins, release anything that no longer serves me. So, we need to do that for ourselves, okay? I'm hearing emotional ties. Some of you may feel like you are emotionally tied to different people based on arrangements, different people based on the past, and you feel some form of obligation. I ain't gonna lie, I've been through that several times with people where, you've grown acclimated or attached to some certain people. You have a strong bond, a relationship. And it's now those relationships are coming to the forefront of evaluating whether they need to be the way that they are. So even if you don't get rid of them per se, it may be a thing where you okay, I think I need to reintroduce myself. I need to establish certain boundaries. I need to address those uncomfortable conversations or situations. And I'm hearing a lot of you all are putting your best foot forward, okay? You're motivated to put your best foot forward. All right, now, where are the messages, please? Remember I was talking about grounding? So the earth element wants to communicate with us. The earth element is connected to Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And some of those elements or zodiac signs very well may actually go through some changes during this time. And I'm also hearing Libra and Gemini. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Aries, even Sagittarius. So from what I'm gathering with this earth element, because the full moon in Cancer, that is a water element. This is Capricorn season, so happy birthday to all the Capricorns out there. We are experiencing some, we need to get, like, I'm hearing refooting, but I don't even think that's a word. I'm hearing that, but it's like basically like you're bearing, like gathering yourself, like getting yourself together so that you can stabilize your energy, because some of you all are in your upper chakras. So like you are channeling, you are receiving downloads, because again, this is full moon in Cancer energy that's connected to the moon, right? So it's kind of like a double kind of intensity. If you think about it, this is the last full moon of the year. So it's like that full moon energy, right? And then Cancer is ruled by the moon. So it's like this energy of intensity through your dream state, your downloads, even intuition. So if you all may have felt like, oh, I'm not a medium or I'm not a psychic or whatnot, you very well actually may experience those gifts at this time. So you need to make sure you're grounded, because otherwise, if you're in these elements for too long, it's like your physical presence may want to leave here if you don't have something anchoring you here, if that makes sense. So some of you all have been seeing 26, 8, 777. 777 is a very spiritual number, or 7 is a very spiritual number. Your ancestors very well may be trying to communicate with you during this time. And I'm hearing some of you very well may actually be blocking them from communicating with you, either because it's out of fear, or you just been really distracting yourself during this time where you feel like, I don't want to deal with that. That's too much. That's too intense. Especially of those who recently crossed over and you're still in that state of feeling attached and like mourning their transition. You very well may not want to hear from them, those that have crossed over. So what else, Spirit, in regards to the earth energy? I'm hearing woo-sa. So some of you all may very well have some disruptive moments with communication, where it's like a thing where, say for instance, there's a topic. I'm hearing hot topic. So if there's a thing where you know you need to communicate a truth, it can get heated, especially if it's like an intense conversation. I strongly encourage you to choose your battles, but also like be methodical in how you communicate. Because of the energy that I'm sensing, it's like you have to be cool-headed, okay? I'm also hearing digestive issues. So I believe the Cancer energy zodiac sign, I think they rule over the breast and maybe even the stomach. And I can check right quick. Yep. So the breast and the stomach. So be mindful of what you ingest during this time. I know some people celebrate holidays, during this time, and you may want to just go in on some food. And if you know that you have certain special dietary needs or restrictions, like, be mindful of that. I'm even hearing digestive enzymes. So some of you all are taking certain supplements to ensure that your stomach is going to be okay. I'm also seeing, as far as the breast, for women and men to check your breasts, your chest, like massage them. If you don't know, a lot of our lymph nodes are within our breasts. So really put some stimulation and massage in those areas, because I'm hearing lymphatic system, okay? So that's what I heard for the earth element. Is there anything that we need to be mindful of, Spirit? Like, show me some information that I can give the collective during this time. I'm hearing mellow. So some of you, you may very well be fine, like you're okay. But it's just the energy where you just really want to be to yourself. You're at peace with having food prepared at home. You don't need to go anywhere. You're okay with not driving around and being in the streets and going shopping. Like, you probably even prefer online shopping right now. So, okay. Okay. Some of you all need to release the past, release the connections from the past. Some of you all don't realize that you have a lot of options to choose from. Now, the options, they have some consequences to it, because it's not like, I don't want to say good and bad, but there's some things you need to look into to see if the pros and cons, how they measure up. But I'm seeing that you all have a lot of options as far as what path to take when it comes to love, and I'm hearing when it comes to career. It's really up to you as far as how you want to do it. And you're receiving like guidance along the way, but at the end of the day, you have to make those choices. So the Ace of Pentacles came out. You are supported. There is going to be a divine manifestation that you have been seeking coming your way, whether it's a small token of appreciation, whether it is financial. I'm hearing even lawsuits, settlements, even if someone decides to pay you back during this time. I'm seeing all of that energy when it comes to the Ace of Pentacles. Now, I'm hearing opportunities that some of you all are having. You have the ability to have those opportunities come like rushing in, but you just have to have that alignment there where you're able to receive it. So when I think, from what I'm looking at on an energetic level, like I sometimes get pictures, I'm seeing like, you know how you see those rides where they have to align the ride, or even a piping like for water, for, you know, like for a waterfall or for a water park or whatever, and it has to shift and meet and line up with that other part. That's what I'm seeing, that some of you all, y'all can receive that rush of abundance. Y'all can receive the rush of connections and opportunities, but you have to make sure you are aligned correctly with those opportunities. So I'm hearing that a lot of us will have to do some shadow work during this time. Some of it is connected to inner child or childhood traumas. And traumas doesn't necessarily have to be, oh, you got some whoopings or you were abused, or it could be something as simple as like feeling like you weren't poured in enough, like you were the parent figure in your household when you were a child. You may not have had as much fun as you should have as a child, or maybe you had a lot of responsibilities and you felt like you just did not have the typical or standard childhood experience. And so now is come a time where you don't even know how to connect with that inner child, because You have lived your life so serious and so responsibly that you don't even know how to connect with that energy. So during this time, you may actually receive some insight on how to do that, whether it's going to sip and paints, whether it's going to have some fun. Like, I don't care if you go on the swings at a park, just anything to tap into that energy. Even if it's just writing yourself a letter, writing a letter to your childhood, so the child in you, just saying, you know, I'm sorry for being so hard on you, and I'm sorry for making you feel like you had to grow up quickly and that you were in an environment where you didn't feel protected or loved. I mean, whatever comes to your head during this time, it will be good to journal and get those emotions out and release them. If you have tears, they are healing during this time, so release them. Allow yourself to feel your emotions. Allow yourself to those repressed emotions, because I'm even dealing with that. There are some things that I've pushed down and categorized and put in a box somewhere so that I could handle the main affairs, because I felt like those emotions got in the way of me dealing with other stuff, and I distracted myself with those other responsibilities. And that's just human nature. That is just the way life is sometimes, where we feel like in this lifetime and at this moment it is reality and that's it, and not even considering other layers or just putting things off even if we are aware. And it's like a thing where you be gentle with yourself, don't fuss at yourself, but acknowledge the things that have hurt you, even if it was years ago, even if you said you forgave them, even if you said it didn't matter or it didn't hurt. Regardless of it, it's just addressing them and then releasing them. And you may actually evaluate how that has influenced or impacted you during this time. You can actually connect the dots. With me, I had an experience with my diet where recently, I've been getting messages about releasing certain things out of my diet. And I was just like, man, I'll do it for a good period of time and then I'll pick it back up again. And then so this time it was like, let it go. You just got to let it go. And sometimes you have to make those sacrifices so that you can get to where you need to be. And when I make those adjustments, it makes me feel better. I think clearly. I just know that it's working for my benefit to make those certain adjustments in my diet. And then you can look for something else to substitute it, or sometimes when we're craving certain things or have a desire for certain things, it's connected to a deficiency that we may have. So if it's a thing where you crave certain weird stuff, it may be, your minerals are deficient. You get what I'm saying? So all of that is coming up for us to evaluate. Even if you realize that you have not been having fun, it's going to come up to question, or how have you been showing up in this life up until this point? So we can talk about going to church. We can talk about going to a temple. We can talk about affiliating ourselves with different organizations. But at the end of the day, we house ourselves. We are the ultimate temple, the sanctuary, everything, right? Even when you look to God, a lot of us are looking outside of ourselves to connect with God, when in actuality, that energy is housed within us. So with that being said, a lot of us will evaluate how we treat ourselves, how we take care of ourselves, and that ultimately will influence on the outside how others will treat us. And I had a real come to me moment that with prosperity or with abundance is not just the material, and I knew that, but it was also connected to the energy that I treat myself or how I feel about myself. So with abundance, when it comes to wanting more for yourself, when it comes to wanting those better opportunities or living situations or even just connections or whatever, fulfillment, peace, whatever, it starts here in your home. This is your home. This is your dwelling. So think about how you're treating yourself. One, I had to eliminate something out of my diet. Two, I had to recognize that I was giving my power away in a lot of circumstances where I felt like things were not right for me to act on certain things. So it was like the timing wasn't right. So I felt like I had to restrict myself from acting on certain ambitions, certain pleasurable moments, certain activities, because I felt like I didn't have it together. And in that instance, when you feel like you don't have it together, you're saying that you are not deserving or worthy at that given point. When in actuality, you're always worthy, you're always deserving of satisfaction, of pleasure, of peace, of love, of tranquility, all that good stuff, even the material. You don't have to wait until you're making 6 figures or 7 figures. You don't have to wait until you get into that big house to celebrate yourself. You don't have to wait until circumstances are better in order for you to celebrate yourself, celebrate your moments, express gratitude for what you have, and actually embody that energy in order to be aligned with that energy that you are desiring. So I'm recognizing there are some things within me that I have to let go because I'm in my head, I'm not ready yet. I don't have this together yet. Well, I can't do this because of that. And that's a limitation. You're actually doing a self-limitation, a disservice to yourself. It's actually playing in your subconscious, telling you that you don't measure up to what you desire. So how can you receive it if you're not believing and truly in that energy or in that embodiment, within that embodiment of what you desire? You have to be that thing first in order to get that thing or that experience. You have to feel beautiful, sensual, powerful, the emperor or empress of your life. You have to believe that everything that comes from you is good, that you are loving, that you are everything and anything within yourself. And it's like the beginning and the end within yourself. You have to look at yourself as this powerful, dynamic being, that you're not just this, you're not just flesh and bones, that you are an infinite, beautiful, divine presence, a spirit that lives forever. And it's a thing where if you believe there's a God, source, spirit, universe, creator, what have you, if you really are tapped into that, then there is no way in the world that you can see yourself limited. There's no way in the world that you can see yourself having little to no options or opportunities. There's no way in the world that whatever you desire, it shouldn't come to you. Because if you believe that, there's a scripture that's like, I'm summarizing it, but greater is he that is within me than he that is within the world. Greater is he that is within me than he that is within the world. Or you can say she or it or whatever. But the point is, you have to believe that you are the main character, the main person of your story, the star. You're not the feature. You're not the assistant. You're not the supporting role of your life. You are the main character. This is your story. And I am going through that process of taking that power back as well. So if you see that within you, you're not alone as far as working on those things. You're not alone. You don't, a lot of us think that because we see these spiritualists or these mentors or these coaches or whatever, that they got it all together. A lot of it is sometimes they're ahead of us, a few, steps ahead. And they've been and they've seen things, but I'm telling you, as long as you are a human in this body, in this experience, you will go through a series of things that will challenge you as far as your belief system, challenge you on what you stand for, challenge you as far as your growth and your mastery. This is all about self-mastery. This is a school of learning. So you're not going to ace it every time, if you want to call it a grade. You're not going to always meet the challenge head on and feel like you came those situations. Sometimes you have to repeat those lessons. Sometimes they may come in different manners where, okay, I acclimated myself with this situation. Now it's time to level up into another form of that lesson. So whatever you have come to do to master yourself, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. When you master yourself, you're helping the collective. I don't want you to focus so much on the collective, because when you focus on you, you focus on the collective. When you take care of yourself, you're taking care of the collective. All right. I just felt guided to share that with you. We're going through a great deal of healing. Some of you are going through some conditioning, I'm hearing. So it may be physical conditioning where you're actually getting yourself in shape. I know I've really been tapping into my womb space. I don't know if you are familiar, but I have been doing healing the indigenous woman, woman, my bad, because I was thinking about trying to blend that in, but the womb. So the importance of the womb is that is a portal, that is a channel, that is an area where we have DNA from our past to the present and to the future. So you're carrying your ancestors. You are your ancestors. You are the ancestor. We are the future as well, as far as that energy. So you're not just dealing with your stuff, even though you are the main character. That's why sometimes we actually may feel a lot of challenges, because we're dealing with stuff that was a generational thing, an ancestral karma or ancestral trauma, contracts. You get what I'm saying? Like we're dealing with a lot of layers. So don't get so overwhelmed thinking that you need to accomplish 20 years that you didn't know any better and stuff it into 2 to 3 years or even in a day. Be gentle with yourself. Like, just go through your process. Don't look at anyone else as far as where they are and trying to measure yourself against them. Because first of all, you don't know their story. You don't know what they're here to achieve and accomplish. And you don't even know what's going on over there. So it's best to not even focus on that. All right. I'm seeing, again, there may be some confusion, disillusionment. You're seeing that you have options, but you may not see the clarity at this time. And that is okay. Again, be gentle with yourself. Be okay with communicating your truth clearly. I'm hearing clarity. So some of you all will be activating your throat chakra at this time. Also, even though you're going through this process, at the end of the day, you're going to end up being like this. And this is the Queen of Swords that's connected to Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, where you're actually saying, you know what, this right here, I see everything. I see everything as it should be and not with rose-colored glasses, okay? So those are the messages. Again, this energy, again, is connected to Sagittarian energy as far as the temperance. And that's pretty much it, y'all. I wanted to make sure I tapped in and have some messages for you all for the full moon in Cancer. Again, this is our last full moon. I wish you well. Happy New Year. Tune into my IG. Follow me on just_her tribe. And you'll see that I will be going live. I go often. This Thursday, I will be doing a special reading. And I want you all to come and join in. Be well. Take care.